Dana White announced that Jon Jones has retired this past weekend after Hill versus Roundtree. And now we know the reason why. And the reason is not going to shock anybody here. Once again, we are in the exact same situation with Jon Jones, more criminal charges. This time, this story is well. I want to stress this. I want to stress this. The UFC is irrelevant right now. Fighting is irrelevant. They are not promoting their fights. Why should we talking about the fights when we have this going on? We have BJ Penn. We have Nick Diaz. We have all these other guys dealing with the exact same thing. So let's read this. UFC champ Jon Jones retires, hits with another criminal charge in Albuquerque. Jon Jones, the often battled Albuquerque resident, considered by many to be the greatest mixed martial arts artist of all time, shocked the combat sports world when UFC President Dana White announced that the fighter retired. But the news didn't come before one more legal matter arose. On one White did not reference in his Saturday afternoon announcement of Jones's retirement. The Journal has learned a criminal summons accusing Jones 37 of misdemeanor charge of leaving the scene of an accident in February was filed Tuesday in the Metropolitan Court. Why does that sound so familiar? Like, why am I going through deja vu when I read the the journal has learned a criminal summons accusing Jones, 37, of a misdemeanor charge of leaving the scene of an accident in February. Why is that ringing a bell for me? I have no idea. Like it's almost like it happened 4 years ago, and he lost his belt from Dana White after that. I don't know though. It's crazy. Maybe I'm thinking maybe I'm making this up. A representative of Jones Sports Management Agency referred to the journal to an attorney, and when reached by the journal, Chris Dodd, who represented Jones in a past case, said he could not comment. Jones on Saturday night posted on social media a statement confirming the retirement. Today, I'm officially announcing my retirement from the UFC. This decision comes after a lot of reflection, and I want to take a moment to express my deepest gratitude for the journey I've experienced over the years. From the first time I stepped into the octagon, my goal was to, I guess we have to open it. Um, da, 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 da. My goal was to push boundaries of what was possible in the sport, becoming the youngest UFC champion in history, defending my belt against some of the best fighters in the world, and sharing unforgettable moments with fans across the globe. These are memories I'll cherish forever. I faced incredible highs and some tough lows, but every challenge has taught me something valuable and made me stronger, both as a fighter and as a person. I want to thank the UFC, Dana, Hunter, Lorenzo, God, my family, coaches, teammates, and all the fans who stood by me through every chapter. Your unwavering support and belief in me have been my foundation. To my fellow fighters, thank you for bringing out the best in me and for the respect we shared inside and outside the cage. As I close this chapter of my life, I look forward to new opportunities and challenges ahead. MMA will always be a part of who I am, and I'm excited to see how I can continue to contribute to the sport and inspire others in new ways. Thank you for all being a part of this incredible journey with me. The best is yet to come. I really hope so, John. I really hope that maybe getting out of the cage Maybe just saying, you know what? These last few years, I had two fights. They went my way, but I didn't get done what the fans wanted me to get done. I held back an entire division. Like that's the accountability we want to hear, John. The criminal complaint stated an Albuquerque police officer was investigating a traffic crash near San Mateo and Lomas when she came across a woman in the front passenger seat of one of their cars exhibiting signs of a significant intoxication and lacking clothing from the waist down. You have a fiance, dude. You have a fiance. Maybe you have an agreement. I don't know. The woman reportedly said Jones was the driver, but fled the scene on foot. She then called Jones. The complaint stated, and a police service aide spoke to the man on the other end of the call, believed to be Jones. He appeared to be heavily intoxicated and made statements implying his capacity to employ lethal force through third parties. Really smart, John. Really smart. The PSA requested backup after what was believed to be a threat when a police officer then talked to Jones and said similar allusions to violence were made. The man on the phone never answered direct questions about whether he was Jones, the complaint stated. When interviewed in person a few days after the crash, Jones said the woman found in the car had left his house earlier in the day intoxicated and called him after getting in the crash. At which time Jones said the person she handed the phone to immediately opened the conversations with unprofessional language, which led him to doubt the legitimacy of the individual's claims. The woman later told police she drank alcohol and consumed mushrooms as Jones' house, at, at Jones' house, and recalled needing to change her clothes at his house, and her next recollection was being at the scene of a traffic accident. She said the last person she remembered driving her was Jones, the court record indicated. Police said Jones called the woman's phone 13 times from the time of the crash until 11:34 a.m. the following morning, and that message from his phone were included, though could not be captured in the call detail records. The police report indicated the crash happened February 21st, but also in one place stated an officer conducted a follow-up interview on January 24th. That doesn't make any sense. It's unclear why the charge against Jones wasn't filed until months after the incident. Also, there's no indication the charge and decision to retire are connected. They are. They are. Um, Maybe not completely, but absolutely. Same thing happened with Conor, which we're gonna get to. Uh, Jones called us last night and retired. White said Saturday during a news conference in Azerbaijan. Jones is officially retired. Tom Aspinall is the heavyweight champion of the UFC. Jones, 28-1 as an MMA fighter, with the one loss being a disqualification for a rule that has since been revoked last fall in November, beating Stipe Miocic for the heavyweight championship in front of a sold-out Madison Square Garden that included Donald Trump, Elon Musk, and many other members of the then president-elect's cabinet watching in person. White and most fans had been calling for Jones to next fight Aspinall, but it's a contest Jones has never seemed interested in pursuing. Jones, who lives and trains in Albuquerque, has had several run-ins with the law throughout his storied and highly scrutinized career. Among them, an arrest and felony charge related to a hit and run of a pregnant woman in 2015 in Albuquerque. Jones eventually pleaded guilty to leaving the scene of an accident and was sentenced to supervised probation. The Journal has left a message seeking comment from White, though he was traveling back to the United States on Saturday evening. Are you fucking kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me, John? Really? You're 37, dude. You're nearly 40. You know, I don't really knock anything. I don't knock most things that a man does in his 20s. We are not developed. We are not mature until our 30s. That is just a fact. No matter how mature you are, as a 20-year-old, you don't know shit. You're partying, you're having fun, you're going out, you're doing all the big things that you want to do. Maybe you're an antisocial person like me. You have your fun in your house, and sometimes nothing happens. Sometimes a lot of bad shit happens. Alcohol and Jon Jones do not mix, and we know about all the other things that Jones does. This guy got arrested for beating up his fiance, his wife, in front of his kids the day before he was supposed to be inducted into the Hall of Fame. And this is, I just opened Google. Why did I do that? This is really what the headlines are. This is really what we're going through right now. The biggest stories, well, one, this petition, which I guess worked. Congratulations, Tony. I actually just started watching your channel. You have really good videos. I follow you on Instagram. Don't really use Twitter much, but 195,000 signatures. That is more. That is like half of the pay-per-view sales. That's more than half for some of the pay-per-view sales I'm willing to bet over the last year. And you have Tom Aspinall. Well, again, Tom Aspinall is probably the biggest fucking star in the sport that Dana White wants nothing to fucking do with. He'd never said his name in press conferences. He only said, yeah, we'll make the heavyweight fight happen. Why aren't you promoting Tom? He's a big dude, knocks out everybody, has ran through that division, big star. UK, another market. How about we go to the UK with Tom Aspinall? I know we're doing it. It's a very shocking, idea to go to where the good fighters are. But again, you fucking wasted Tom Aspinall's career. 2 years, although he did fight Curtis fights. But again, 2 years, missed out on probably what, 4, 5, 6 fights as champion. Probably would have beaten Stipe's record, been the greatest heavyweight of all time. Right now, at 31 years old. But no, we have to do the same fucking thing we did last year with Michael Chandler. We have to save it for a big fight. This is the biggest fight, and it is the biggest fight. But you wasted Michael Chandler's the rest of his prime. He came back at MSG. Ironically enough, when Jon Jones was fighting, loses to Oliveira. Yeah, he had those backdrops at the end of the fight, but he looked awful. He looked awful. And then got finished by Paddy Pinkwood in the on the UK card. What the fuck are we doing here? Really? And we have this with Conor McGregor. Again, a 37-year-old man, the same age as Jon Jones. He's out here clubbing, punching people in the face, fucking, the old man incident. You have all the trials, you have the Nikita Hands, you have the NBA one. I get it, controversy sells. Most, the infamous Donald Trump saying. But there is nothing, and I mean fucking nothing, in the UFC right now. What? International Fight Week? Besides the two co-main events, or two main events, there's only like one or two other fights I'm actually interested in. You got D Devlin, who's been there the entire time. Doesn't say what she said. Um, no. Whatever. I'm not reading this article. It's too much time, but yeah, they go on a yacht after Connor punches a dude in a club. Yeah, the casino. Cool, Connor, the family man. And you know what? I don't know how Connor is with his family. I don't know that dynamic. But again, what's the biggest story going on right now? And I haven't even looked up this story, so maybe I'm going to find an update on this. But the biggest story is this shit. Um, there. Oh, I guess it's only showing up BJ Penn articles. But again, BJ Penn losing his mind. Oh, I guess I moved to Highland Court. Maybe I'll do an update on that after this. You got the BJ Penn thing. You also got Nick Diaz. Let's see what updates here. Former Nick Diaz opponent reveals the massive mistake he made that cost him legendary career. The truth about Nick Diaz's kidnapping. I did a video on that. But these are the stories that us MMA fans have to look at, have to cover. We're a week away from Elliot Charles Oliveira. Nobody's making a video. Well, there are people making videos on that. But UFC 317 International Fight Week, the biggest event you're supposed to have this year. Nobody gives a fuck about. Nobody's talking about this fight. And it's a banger fight, right? Elite Warrior probably moving up the lightweight. Oliveira fighting for the belt that he lost to Makachev. Really good fight. Both really good boxers. Both really good grapplers. Nobody gives a fuck when BJ Penn is losing his mind. Nick Diaz is going to rehab. And fucking Jon Jones is once again racking up DUIs, leaving the scene. And this is how his career is going to end. This is how it ends. This sport is dead. This sport is fucking dead. Dana White needs to step down. They need to start promoting fights. And they need fucking health care. Can we say the elephant in the room? When you have all of your fighters losing their minds, going to rehab, fucking getting in DUIs. Can we talk about having health care? Can we talk about at least having a psychiatrist? Can we talk about, making sure that after they're done fighting for you, they don't go out and do this shit? They don't go out and get addicted to methamphetamine. They don't go out and get DUIs every other week. What about that? I mean, we're paying $80 a pay per view. You said that you're making all these record numbers over the last years, and you have done fucking nothing to expand your addiction mental health support. Maybe it'll take BJ Penn. Really, really going off of the deep end for that to happen. But it's sad. That's these. This is how two of my favorite fighters, since I started watching this sport, are going out. And the UFC is not talking about it. They're not being open about it. They're not being honest. And it's more than BJ Penn, Jon Jones, Nick Diaz, Tony Ferguson, fucking Stephen Bonner, all these other names. Who knows who won't be the next one? Well, fuck, man. Dana White, you need to fix your company. Jon Jones, Conor McGregor, you are 40-year-old men. Get your shit together.